Okay, so now, what makes for a good client or a great client? Now, the client has to have money, so he needs to have the ability and the capacity to pay you a lot if necessary. So you don't want to be working with somebody that have just started their website. These people are just started, so they might have money, but they are very careful about the money they're spending. Okay? And you need to also be very careful about not working with them because that's the perfect recipe to go broke as fast as possible. And those are the very people that will pay you $5 on Fiverr. And that's part of the reason why, apart from the fact that Fiverr takes 20% from your sales, some people go to Fiverr with the mindset of, okay, I'm going to go there and get a freelancer for just $5. That's all I'm going to do. And so you don't want to sell your services for $5. And you don't want to deal with somebody whose mindset is completely focused on just paying you the $5. Okay. So ask yourself this question every time you're looking for a customer. Does that person have the capacity to pay me as much money as I want? And next thing is that customer needs to be in some sort of pain. Okay. So by pain, I don't mean physical pain, but they need to have something that pains them, something that demands your attention and your help. They might be running a marketing blog and they might be, in shortage of bloggers, of copywriters to write their email sequences, to write their landing pages, to write copy for them. And so you can jump in and provide that service for these people. And so that's their pain. Their pain is they need you and you are the solution. There are different pains and, of course, different solutions to different problems. Of course, different problems require different solutions. And so, yeah. The third point is they have to be selling some form of product online. Now, in order for you to make sure that a person will pay you, you need to go out and look for the kind of products that they are selling online. What are they selling online? And finally, ask yourself this question. These people, are they selling these products and do they have high margins? Because if they have low margins, then chances are you're not going to get paid that much. So to be honest with you, you're not going to get paid that well, that generously. But if these people are making that much money, they will pay you and they'll have no problem with it. And so, by the way, you can find the ideal customer spreadsheet attached to this lecture over here. And as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and show it to you. It's a very simple Excel spreadsheet that you can use. Let me go ahead and show you how to use it very, very fast. Okay, so this is the ideal customer spreadsheet. So you need to ask, the first question is the customer rich enough, right? And you can say yes or no. These are yes or no answers. So very simple. Second question is, what could they be struggling with? So do they have a lot of blogs? Do they have a low number of marketers? But there's a question that also I feel is very, very important that we address. And this is very important. A lot of you out there are going to say, well, how will we know what that person is struggling with? And that's just common sense. Okay, once you find that person, you need to, first of all, if they have a newsletter, you need to make sure that you join their newsletter so that you get their emails, you get their newsletters, you see how many times do they send a newsletter per week, per day, what's their schedule, visit their website, do they have a YouTube channel, do they have an Instagram, how many times they post on their Instagram and Facebook and other social media. Is their website big? How many times are they releasing blogs? So, for example, if I tell you that there is a blog that releases 10 blogs per day, that means that blog is going very, very fast, because chances are if they're getting out 10 blogs per day, then it's 300 blogs per month, right? And so they need the capacity to write that. And so you could be the solution to that problem. You could fit in with the other copywriters and help that company solve their problem, which is shortage of the capacity to write as many blogs. Sometimes the problem does not exist and you need to create the problem. Okay, so I want you to write this down on a piece of paper very, very carefully. Sometimes the problem doesn't exist, but it doesn't mean that we cannot create the problem. If the problem does not exist, we can create it. So if you walk into or outreach a specific customer, and then you find that customer is not interested with you, then most people would do is they would just walk out. But the smart ones are the ones that actually find ways to make that person buy, even though they don't need it. And I'm going to show you an example of this. I'm going to show you a real example of this. This is something that I do every single day, because all you have to do is to convince the person which you're trying to help that you're really going to help them. If you can convince them that they are going to benefit from you, that by purchasing your services, they're doing a good thing and that it's contributing to their business success, then obviously they're going to pay you no matter what, even if they will never actually benefit from paying you. Let me give you an example. Let's suppose that you met this customer online and that person is interested about dropshipping, wants to build a dropshipping store. But the only problem is that person knows nothing about dropshipping, has never dropshipped, never made money dropshipping, as a matter of fact. Now, to some extent, some people will say, okay, well, that person is innocent. That person has never made any money dropshipping, so why would I bother trying to sell them my services, of my web development services? Why would I tell them that I can create websites for them when, in reality, that person has never dropshipped in his life? Well, you could go into that person and convince them that dropshipping might be the solution to get out of their 9 to 5. Okay, that's one thing. You could convince that person that if I build a store for you, after 6 months, if you learn this, you could make money with this and you could quit your job. That is convincing, fair enough, right? So the problem didn't really exist. That person at the beginning didn't even need a dropshipping store, but we convinced them of the idea. I don't want to delve more into this, but I just want to sum this up, and it's to give you a conclusion of this. When the problem does not exist, creatively think about how you can create one for the customer. And that, I found it to be very, very useful in my career as a copywriter and as an online entrepreneur. Because if you wait for people to tell you, hey, I have this problem, I have that problem, most of the times that doesn't happen. Most of the times you are creating solutions to problems that people don't even know if they exist or not. So, and of course, the third question here after what could they be struggling with is what products are they selling? This is very important, because the last thing you want to do is to be contributing to somebody. And the last thing you want to do is to be contributing to that person while knowing nothing about what they sell. You need to know their product. You need to know what they sell. And of course, how much money do they make from it? Because that then dictates how much money you are going to make. Because if they are making a lot of money, then you are making a lot of money. And so, of course, put this in this spreadsheet like this, right? So answer these questions, how you see fit. And here you enter the customer email. All right, so the customer email. We're going to talk about another spreadsheet that you'll use to add your emails, your target emails on there. But as far as the customer email, add the customer email over here. And if you have a name of the representative of the company, whether that be the CEO or the COO, add it over here as well.